Good.
Good. I want to send you some greetings from my neighbor and his driller.
His driller's back.
Yeah, the driller is back.
That's alright. It's okay.
So yeah, sorry guys. From time to time, I'm gonna unmute myself.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Let's get some music. Morning, Sergio. I don't know if you're allowed to talk. No, nope. Music player. There you go. Okay, so the live stream should be up. Just wait for a few people to join, as we always do. And then we will start the show. Morning, Ash. Morning, Nana. Morning, Raul. That's what I like to see, on time, on the bell. Okay, let's clear some charts over here. Do some fresh analysis. Let's just see what it's doing over here. Oh wow, it's pretty bullish. London Open has seen price push bullish. Okay. Yeah, like I say, we'll just give it till 5 past 9. So a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna start breaking down some pairs here today. Yeah, so it looks like the 1 hour time frame has pushed price pretty bullish, but we have a lot of areas of issue to the left hand side, and I'm not sure or convinced that we're going to get all the way back up to these high points from yesterday, but we may be creating that high for a continuation further down, because the daily candle didn't really create much of a top wick. So I mean, there's still all the chance that we can still come down, but it looks like the Asian session did push price to fill the daily wick, the previous daily wick. But I didn't trade Asian last night. I was just way too tired. I needed an early night. Yeah, we'll give it one more minute here, and then we're gonna start breaking down GJ. So it's Friday today. Which means that it's called Take It Easy Day. So definitely not gonna rush into any trades. Only gonna take something if I like it. But we'll see what happens over here. Fridays are a bit hit and miss. Either Fridays are just dog, or you can actually catch some nice moves on a Friday, but I mean, you've got to decipher which type of Friday it's gonna be. So gold is still respecting this uptrend on the daily, but we'll see. Okay, so I think it's time to make a start over here. So welcome everybody to the London pre-New York live stream session with HFX. This is the 16th of October 2020. So Friday here, it's the last day of the week. So listen guys, if you've had losses this week, do not expect to make those losses back today. I would just say that, you know, if there's something good, then always maybe throw less risk at it because it is a Friday. But listen, you're not going to make your losses back on a Friday. Trust me, I've been there. Friday is not a day to make losses back. Friday is a day that you've already been in profit for the week. And maybe there's just that last opportunity before the weekend close. You do not want to be treating Friday as like your safety net, your day to make it all back. All your mistakes through the week is not going to be corrected on the last day of the week, okay? So yeah, so anyway, let's break down GJ over here. So the previous daily candle did what we expected it, well, I expected it to do. It did come down and it did fill the previous daily wick. So the current daily candle, has already come down, filled this range, starting to come back up. But daily candle can flip back bearish and continue moving down. So right now we're not so sure what's going on the intraday spectrum, which we're going to take a look at. But looking on the daily time frame, we do know, right? We do know that we are at a strong support level on the daily time frame. So we've had a few rejections of this area from the end of September. We've now rejected this area twice. We're coming up to 3 times this week. So there is the potential for price to come back up into these high points. But at the same time, we're looking at this area here, and we're looking at the fact that the daily up over this area, it rejected this area as a resistance and continue moving down. Now, we did have this retracement bullish candle, yet price still with bearish momentum continued to push down. So this is the point at which we may just consolidate here for the week. But I'm thinking, next week price is either going to have to respect this area as a support and then ultimately come and retest some of these high points, or we're going to break this support and start coming back down to some of these low points, right? But anyway, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So if we just clear everything for a second. So looking on the 4-hour time frame, it does look like we are reacting to a support down over here at 136,620. So this is kind of this overall range that we have here on GJ. So this is a range that we have where prices, either tapped into, created some support. So look at this, right? So look at this. On the 4-hour, this was like a fake out move in this area. On the next 4-hour, this was a rejection. We had a support formed above this area. Again, rejection. And now we're kind of having the support formed above this area again. So I mean, there's a chance that we could, generate some deeper liquidity into this 4-hour, and that this candle is just maybe doing like a retracement. But we don't know that yet until we start looking at the smaller time frames. But what we do know is that we have a 4-hour resistance up over here, and this is the point at which, before the Asian session, that a resistance was formed for price to continue further down. So right now we've come back up to this area. So if we look on the 4-hour time frame and we look at the the candles and we read the price action, we can see that if this 4-hour can break above this this 4-hour resistance, we have a clean counter left hand side, maybe coming back to this previous support. This is going to be a good conservative target just based on the 4-hour time frame, as this was a previous support from the 8th of October, previous support from the 7th. It was a resistance on the 7th as well. So this is a somewhat of a strong level, and this is 136,800. So this is definitely a very strong price level. Now let's go to the 1-hour time frame. We're always going to seek to neaten up our zone. So right now we can see that the 1-hour time frame is reacting to this support down over here. We just neaten that up, and yeah, at the same time we have this resistance over here on the hourly time frame, right? This is a resistance, but we also had these minor levels within this zone. We also have this area here to left hand side as well. So it does get pretty messy over here on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, it does look pretty messy. And then if you really want to go into detail, we had another resistance here. So what do we go with? So okay, so right now I'm going to go with this area here because if we look, this was the 4-hour resistance. So this 4-hour resistance is a much stronger time frame confirmation. And plus, if we look at the candles overall, these are just minor resistances, smaller body levels. Whereas here we had, a little bit technically volume in the market because, candles close a lot stronger from this level. So this is going to be our stronger level. Now let's remove this for a second because we're going to look at the 30-minute time frame to give us some more information. But essentially, as we're looking left and we're starting to see what's gone on prior at this level, so we can see that this was the point up over here where price done a retracement to continue moving down. So this is going to be a strong area. This is 136,590, 136,600. So this is a good key level. Now let's look on the 30-minute time frame finally. So looking on the 30-minute time frame, we can now seek to neaten up our information. So I think the best thing that we can do is look at this area here as some form of resistance. This was like a previous support that closed yesterday around pre-New York, which couldn't be sustained, right? It couldn't be sustained. And as we're looking left, if we can successfully get to support above 136,250, I think that's going to be a good idea to continue moving up to 136,600. So that's already what we're starting to look at here, right? So let me just break down that why that may be. So this was a resistance. Okay, this is a really bad, slow, choppy range. So we're gonna write this information off now because we've had this, this bullish push up. It broke out of this minor range from pre-London. So now it's starting to push up. Now as it's looking left, it sees, okay, we have resistance 1, resistance 2. So these were 2 resistances from yesterday. Now if candles can come up, close above this area, do like a retest, form a support. As we're looking left, this was a previous support from yesterday. So again, if we can get that support again, we look left, we see we have clean candle to left hand side. And where was the point at which price fell from? Was this resistance up over here. So we look left and we see the price and it's 136,600. So again, if we get that support above 136,250, 260, I think that's going to be good to continue moving bullish. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure this range, right? We want to make sure that this range has got enough range for us to take a trade. So this range is 30 pip range. So this is definitely a good enough range to take a buy, right? So we're definitely going to be patient because this is a strong level, and there's been multiple rejections. So we have rejections, and we had some liquidity being generated for that further drive down. So I would want to see definitely somewhat of a bullish close above this area because that's going to make me a lot more confident that price will continue moving up. Because like I say, it's a Friday, right? We're not going to want to rush a trade. But if we can get that support, that's going to be a much stronger confirmation that price will continue moving up. And we don't want to be taking weaker confirmation trades on a Friday. We always want to be looking for nice, easy trades that is gonna not really affect how our week has gone. So looking at the information we have currently, this was the range from pre-London, right, and through the Asian session. So late in the Asian, pre-London, we just ranged, and then just before London open, price broke up. We had like a retracement candle, and then we had a support form. So now we have this support form. So it does look like it closed back above this support. So this was a previous support from the Asian session, which was a very weak support, and then it did start to break down over here until it did start to climb down through the Asian session. But I didn't trade that, so we're going to ignore that for the minute. But what's most important to us now is the fact that we have a strong support at this area. So what does that mean? As we look left, we look at the price. This level is 136. This is a strong level. But what does that also mean for us? It also means now that we have another range. And why is that? Because we have our most recent support down over here. And if we break this support, and let's say this move from London open gets corrected, we have a clean candle coming down to, conservative target's going to be 135, 740. And then you know, a more aggressive target. It's going to be back down to this support at 135.650, which is 35 pips away and then 25 pips away. So, you know, these are good ranges, right? So now we have 2 ranges and 2 targets for sells, as well as what we were looking for buys. So we always want to be mapping out, you know, both sets of buys and sells, because, you know, things can change and we're scalping. We don't necessarily know when the big move's going to come. We might predict that a big drop's going to come on GJ, a big push up's going to come on GJ, but I'm telling you, you know, you don't want to play the market. Market can push price down 50 pips and then shoot up in the other direction 150 pips. It makes no difference. The market's going to do what it's going to do. So we just have to look at our key levels and assess our zones. So right now it's a little bit of a waiting game. Let's look at the 15-minute over here. So looking at the 15-minute, it looks like it's trying to create some support, maybe to continue pushing higher, which is good for us. But yeah, even if we look on the 15-minute, this area makes complete sense, because, you know, this was a resistance, again, resistance, rejection zone. And then this was a previous support from yesterday on the 15th. So we're definitely going to want to wait for a break above 136.250 for price to continue moving up, or we're going to wait for a break below 136 for price to continue moving down. So for now, that's what we're going to do. And while GJ is just ranging over here, we are going to break down another pair. So that's GJ. Let's look at Euro JPY. I'm going to do this a little Euro JPY a bit quicker. Obviously GJ is my main pair, so I want to focus really on that. Other pairs, you know, we don't really need to, you know, really break down in major detail, but just overall zones, etc. So looking at the daily's coming down, you know, it has this support area. Looks like it's kind of already rejected it, but there is a chance that we could come down through this wick and then continue moving down to 122.750, right? So let's go to the 4-hour now. So looking on the 4-hour on Euro JPY, it looks like, you know, we're respecting this area as some support down at 123.100, and we also have a resistance formed on the 4-hour as well. So we formed this resistance for the Asian session, so the next 4-hour candle can continue moving down. So if you were looking for sells on the Asian session, man, this was perfect, right? Price created a low, did a retracement, candle formed resistance, and then the next candle respected the high to continue moving down. That was a really nice trade if you took that based off the 4-hour. But let's focus here on what's going on. So let's look at the 1-hour. So looking at the 1-hour time frame on Euro JPY, yeah, it's still in a range over here. It's in this big consolidation range on the 1-hour time frame. So personally, I would want to wait for, you know, some form of clearer direction right now, because although it's in a downtrend, you know, either you're looking for, can it keep rejecting this area and then maybe continue moving down, or do you want to wait for this support to break and then continue, right? So what we're going to look at here is if we can successfully break above this resistance on the 1-hour time frame, we have a clean move coming up to this next area. Maybe down up over here is going to be a bit more conservative at 122.620. But let's go to the 30-minute time frame, because we're going to get even more information once we do that. So looking at the 30-minute time frame, again, this was the area of consolidation, this minor range. When we extend that left, it was a previous support. So this is the minor range since pre-London, since when, you know, prices come up. Now it's created a high. So if you do look at this as price creating a high, you know, if you do get some form of support formed at this level, I think that's going to be a good idea to continue moving up to fill this range over here. So there you go. Now we're already starting to look at potential setups based on the more information that we have. But anyway, we're going to neaten this up a little bit, bring this area up, because we look on the 30-minute and we can see that we have a little bit more information here to the left hand side. So I think that's going to be a good idea. Obviously, you know, it's in an overall range, so you need to take that into account. You know, probability is going to be much harder. Or if you're a type of trader that wants to, you know, be a bit more selective and wants to wait for something better, you may say, I want to wait for this resistance to break, because then I have a clean move coming up maybe being conservative, we can look at this area here at 123,620. And then maybe being less conservative, we're expecting a real volume push. We can expect price to come up to the next resistance level at 123,720. And then at the same time, we also want to be looking for, well, how could we take sells? So again, sells, you may want to wait for a break of this support. So let's just neaten this up. So we have a support down over here. So I definitely want to wait for this support to break. But at the same time, you could say, okay, well, if we see price close back below 123,230, there's a much higher chance price is going to continue moving down to this support within this range. So there's that idea. Now, if price breaks this support on the 30-minute on Euro JPY, as we look left, we can see, okay, well, this is probably the most likely area at which price is going to go. So this was the area we were looking at yesterday, and it does look like it came in and tapped exactly into our target area and then bounced off. So we're going to look at this area again for like a wick fill, something along those lines. So now we start to map out our key levels there on Euro JPY. Check out what GJ's doing. GJ's rejecting now. So again, at the same time as well with GJ's created a high, right? So, if it can come back down to the support and respect this level as a support, there's a much higher chance we're going to continue up to retest the high. And then maybe later on with volume start to break up. Or, if we're not respecting this area, it's the same thing as, break down from that resistance to continue moving down. And that's all we're waiting for. So moving on, let's look at gold. Check out gold over here. So looking at gold right now, daily is bullish. So previous daily candle was bullish. Currently broken the high of the previous daily candle. So we could come up and fill this wick at 1912,950. And then maybe eventually up to retest the high. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So looking at the 4-hour is trying to break above a resistance right now, which is good because then we have, clean candle to left hand side on the 4-hour time frame. Let's look at the 1 hour. So looking at the 1 hour time frame on gold, it looks like it's broken above this resistance here from the Asian pre-London session, which is good. Also, maybe want to see a support form because we have this clean candle to the left hand side on gold. So this is looking good as well. We also have a support over here. So this was the range since pre-London Asian session last night. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, yeah, so 30 minutes broken above this consolidation. Let's bring this down over here. This is going to be, yeah, around this area is going to be good. So 30 minutes broken above this consolidation. So, maybe we're going to want to wait for like a support to be formed. And that's going to be a good idea for price to continue moving up to 1912, 550, 560. I think that's going to be a good idea there on gold. Gold looks super good to continue moving up. But I think we need to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so 15-minute candle's closing bearish. So you may want to wait for like a bullish 15-minute, or maybe, as price is coming up, if you're expecting some volume, once it breaks the highs of the two previous 15-minute candles, it may start to push at that point. But you do have to, weigh up the risk to reward because it's not, I think, the biggest of ranges. Let's look at this range. So this range is around 40 pips. So that's quite a good range. Looking on the 30-minute, yeah, I think it's going to be a better bet to wait. Let's wait for this 30-minute candle to close, and then we can assess that. Able to lower the music. It is pretty low. It's on like 1. Yeah, I mean, I can't really lower it more than that, to be honest with you. You should be able to hear me fine, but let me know if it gets a real big issue that you can't hear me. Maybe just turn your volume up. So other people are saying the music's fine, so plus the music just makes it better when there's just that silence. It doesn't, it's a bit awkward when there's that silence, and I don't want to have to be talking the whole time. So yeah, I think a support formed above this area, but I think ultimately wait for this 30-minute candle to close. GJ is still coming down. Euro JPY is still coming down. We looked at gold. GCAD. Let's look at GCAD. So looking at the daily. So it looks like the daily candle is coming up over here, but the previous daily candle did close bearish. Looks like it's starting to reject this area. So again, there could be the chance that this daily candle is going to start to come down. But at the same time, you know, if it's going to, it could just range, right? It's a Friday, so I think let's look at the smaller time frames. It's going to be easier. So looking at the 4-hour, this is a support. This is a support on the 4-hour time frame, and it does look like, you know, price has created a low and it's doing a retracement. So again, I think if a resistance is formed at this level, maybe price can continue moving down. Let's look at the 1-hour. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, it does look like price has done like a fake out over here, right? So it looks like it's trying to close sort of back in this range over here. And I think if it forms some support, I think there's a very high chance, you know, it can come back up to this, you know, minor resistance, or even ultimately fill this range, because this is a range. So I think, yeah, we'll remove this. This is a range here on the hour time frame. So I think, again, if it's a support is formed here, I think price should continue moving bullish. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, looking at the 30-minute, it's closing back above this area. We also had this resistance. If you're looking at that, okay, let's say you were looking at this area here, this most recent resistance, then we're looking at the fact that it's formed that support at this area now as well. So let's say, for example, now what I'd want to see is, because we have this like minor resistance formed, I'd want to see a support formed above this area, and then I think price is going to be good to continue moving up to fill this range over here on GCAD. So I think that's going to be a good idea. Let's look at the 15-minute. So current 15-minute candle's coming down. So yeah, I think you need to see a bullish candle form at this area, and then I think it looks good to continue moving up. So we've got a couple, yeah, but this 30-minute candle needs to close above this area as well. That's a really important thing. So obviously the current 15 and 30 are bearish, so it needs to close above this area. Okay.
Yeah, I was more looking for sales this morning, but then that candle just broke up. Was it London, near London Open? So just gotta wait for some support to form now.
Yeah, definitely.
Start looking for buyers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think once you get a support formed at this area, I think it's going to be good. I also think if this 30-minute candle can close bullish, I think there's a very high chance the next one's going to come up, fill this wick, and then push higher up, maybe to fill this range. But I think it needs to close bullish. If it closes bearish, then you'd want to wait for that support. But if it closes bullish, I think there's a very good chance it's going to, the next candle should respect the low and then continue to push. Let me just look at the 15-minute. Yeah, I think maybe the best bet is to just wait for like a 15-minute candle in your direction, and then that should, yeah, let's just see how this 30-minute candle closes while we're here. Because if it closes bullish, then the 15-minute looks like it's starting to, you know, pull away from this area. So if you get one more 15-minute candle close in your direction, I think that's going to be good. But then the 30-minute to come up, fill the wick, and then continue pushing. Okay, so the 30-minute candle closed bullish. I think there's a very high chance this candle is going to come up and fill this wick, but it does need to respect the low. Yeah, stop would be around 10 pips, and then expecting price to come up and fill this wick over here. Look at the 15. Yeah, I think that's going to be, I think that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, I took an entry.
Okay. Yeah, I think you should be good. Because obviously this candle is going to come down, create some form of bottom wick. So, I mean, if you want to be safe, I think, you know, once it breaks the low of this 15-minute, maybe reduce the risk a little bit. I know it's not ideal, but yeah, I think you're going to be good. Because it closed bullish, it closed above this area, so it should respect this low over here and then continue moving up to fill this wick and then fill the range. But I think if the 15-minute candle, this next 15-minute candle closes bearish, then I think at that point may want to like reduce the risk. But if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, then at that point you can start to look, you know, where can I mitigate or reduce the risk if that 15-minute candle low is broken, because you wouldn't want this 30-minute then to start to reject this area and continue moving down.
Well, the last 30-minute made high, low, so that's another side in it.
Yeah, let me go back. Yeah, I think it looks good, to be honest. I see this kind of structure happen a lot. If this was on GJ, I'd be in buys right now. If this was GJ, I'd be in buys. So let's see if they can do the similar thing. And I'm just looking at like the 15-minute, and you know, right now it does look like, you know, it's going to continue pushing up. So I think you're going to be good. But I would just say the condition is if this candle can't close bullish, then the overall probability is going to be much harder. So at that point, I would look to start maybe reducing the risk, but obviously that's up to you. But that's your next like almost checkpoint. Like if this candle closes bullish, then my trade's still valid. If it respects the low over here, my trade's still valid. So we'll come back to GCAD in a minute. Let's look at GJ. So GJ 30-minute candle closed bearish over here. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so 15-minute candle. Yeah, I'm not waiting on a 15. I'm gonna wait on like a 30-minute candle to retest the high if that's gonna happen. Just want to make sure that being extra careful, because I don't want price to come down and start to correct some of this move, which is, you know, very possible. Yeah, we're gonna wait. I'm gonna either wait for a break above 136.260, or if we can do a retracement and form some form of support at 136. And then again for sells, if it can break 136 to continue moving down. Okay, so GCAD's coming up over here. It's coming up to fill that wick. Looking at the 15-minute candle is bullish. So I think at this point, Kelch, you wouldn't want it to see it flip back bearish. It's coming up to break the high. It's broken the high of the 15-minute. 30 minutes candle coming up to fill this wick over here. So I think you should be good at this point now. So how I would maybe manage this trade now is I would look at, okay, well, my overall stop's going to be below this candle, but if this candle comes back to my entry point, let's say around this area or at the close, that's the point on which I'm going to close 50%. Because, you know, this candle's already started to come up to fill this wick, so we wouldn't want to see it come back down or start to flip bearish. That's not going to be no good for us.
Yeah, nice. I'll manage it accordingly.
Yeah, nice, mate. I think you're going to be good over here. I think you're going to have a nice winning trade to end the week. Where are you up now? You're nearly be able to secure soon, won't you?
Yeah, another pip or so.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I still think if this 15-minute candle can close bullish, then the next 15-minute candle is going to be the one to start breaking up. So I would, yeah, I think you're going to be good. GJ starting to come up over here. 15-minute kind of gave no confirmation, so we're just still waiting. So let's look at gold. Yeah, so gold. Yeah, gold created that bullish candle above this area and looks like it wants to continue pushing over here. Yeah, 15-minute created that kind of support above this area, and I think gold should continue moving up at this point. Would you consider sells if GDP JPY 15-minute doesn't break the previous 15-minute high? No, I wouldn't consider sells yet, because, you know, price is pretty bullish. Even though you see a bearish candle at a resistance, does not mean, in my opinion, that this is a sell right now. You know, it's coming up, it's nearly about to break the high, so I would be more inclined to wait for buys above 136, 250, because right now it looks like it may be like break above this previous bearish wick, and then it's going to start popping up into this zone. Looks like it's most likely thing it's going to do. And then what we want to wait for is, you know, some high to be created in this area, and then wait for that pullback, support to form, and then continuation up. Yeah, I mean, if you're in sales, I would maybe just start looking at how you're going to reduce that risk. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't be in sales, because, you know, you stick to your plan, you stick to what you want to do, but you do have to look at the trend. So the current trend since market open is bullish, so one bearish candle is, yeah, it's not going to be enough for me. Let's check out GCAD. Oh, you should be securing some profits over there.
Yeah, closed a couple minutes ago.
Nice.
Got a little bit running.
Yeah, awesome. I think for a runner,
break even.
I think a runner's going to be good to 1.71171. I think this.
That's where it is.
Yeah, I think this is going to be your area, because
I'm just looking.
Here, I was going to say up over here is going to be like, it's going to be good, but if we look at, you know, our, again, if you look at our information, this whole area is where price could tap into. So this is the next point at which I would be like securing profits. And then if you want to leave a further run in, then, you know, your next area is up over here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 4 hour. There's like, it's going to close in like 20 minutes, and there's like a small kind of resistance where price pulled back. So I'm just going to see if it closes above it or not.
Yeah, let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, I think 4 hour could come up and fill this range, but we might see that pullback on the next 4 hour, which you don't want to be like sitting through that with a big position. So if you just let you run, break even, or you want to secure everything, you know, it makes no difference. That's completely up to you. Okay, so it looks like gold did push up to our target over here. So we've already called out gold buys, GCAD buys. So it's looking like a good day today here so far. See, what I would have wanted to, I wouldn't have traded gold on a Friday personally, because I know there's news anyway. So I think there's retail sale news, but I mean, gold looks super good to continue moving up. So just take note of this. You know, this candle structure, everything was screaming bullish. I just wanted to see some form of bearish candle and then another bullish candle, because then that's going to give me on a Friday much better confidence. But I mean, now looking back, it made complete sense. But if I'm going to take anything today, it's going to be GJ. I'm not going to piss about with gold on a Friday. It's the last thing I want to do. So I still think we can get a good trade over here on GJ. Just need that break above 136, 250. I think we're going to be good at that point. Okay, how many we got in here today? We've got 46 people. It's pretty good. Okay, let's check out the FTSE over here. FTSE 100 is bullish. So similar to GJ today. Let's look at the daily. So daily starting to come up, but in all fairness, the daily does look like it could continue moving down, but we'll see. It looks like it's tapped into this liquidity zone, started to reject. So let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, see, 4 hour closed bearish, but it's a very weak bearish candle close. So, you know, it looks like it's come up, tapped into this next resistance on the 4 hour. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, it looks like it's tapped up into this area. It created some support down over here since the Asian pre-London to continue moving up. We also had a resistance that it's broken out of. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens over here. Still yet to take my first trade on the FTSE, but still just watching, analyzing. This is what you got to do, right? Just got to sit back, watch, and see how this pair moves. So right now, I'll be mapping up my idea, looking for a support formed over here on the 30-minute to continue moving up. And then we go to the 30-minute. Yeah, we need to see some form of support formed to come up and retest the high. And then if we get closed back below, we have clean counter left-hand side, and that's the point at which we'll look for sells. So Euro JPY is coming down over here. So I think if you're looking for sells on Euro JPY, I would want to see this candle close back below 123.230 to continue moving down. I mean, as pre-New York comes into play, you know, there's a chance we could correct this bullish move because, you know, price is in a downtrend. Overall structure is a downtrend, but I mean, short-term trend since market open has been bullish. So that's why I always want to see, okay, where's the point at which the trend, this bullish trend would be broken. So here's, let's do it like this. So here's support. Actually, let's do... do color that you can see. So if we say, okay, so this is a support, and then here's our next support, and then now we're trying to create another support, we can clearly see, you know, so 1, 2, 3. So we've got that short-term bullish uptrend, but the overall market structure is bearish, right? Because we can see, you know, we have these lower high points. So what do? We just wait for, you know, we look at our key levels and we say, okay, well, for the bearish structure to break, we need to see, say, a newer high. So we need to see something like this, which would be price coming back above this area, forming that support. So that's the point I look for buys. And then what I would look for sells is, because right now we're in this short-term uptrend, we want to say, okay, well, if we can break down and then we can break this support, we'd be breaking down and then doing that type of thing, right? So here's our points at which we know whether price is going to continue up or continue down, which is this level right here. So once we get a break of this level, I think a sell is going to be pretty good. If anybody's got any charts this morning, feel free to send those in. We can take a look at that. What's GCAD doing? All GCAD still pushing over here. Did come up to fill this wick. Hopefully we'll continue moving up.
yeah, it's broken the high now, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, looks good, mate. Still got 13 minutes. Let's see how the 15-minute candle closed. Yeah, 15-minute close, super strong bullish. Yeah, I think at this point it should continue moving up. I think to at least, yeah, fill this wick over here, and then maybe continue pushing. But even if it doesn't, you secured profits, and at this point, you just leave it up to the market whether you earn any extra. So let's look at the 15-minute here on GJ. 15-minute candle closed bullish. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need to wait, because it's rejecting this area multiple times now on the 15-minute. So definitely gonna wait for some form of break above. Oh, another one saying the music is too loud. So you cannot hear me, okay? Man, I've got it on 1. I've got it on 1. I don't see how it can be so. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, maybe just turn your. Yeah, maybe the last track was just loud. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this music, man. I want it to be. I do like having the music in the background, because then it doesn't make me feel like I gotta like talk every 5 seconds. Because obviously I don't want it to just be like silent in between, you know, looking at things and stuff like that. So looking at the Dow right now. Again, just still watching the Dow. Ooh, looks like I could continue down to fill this wick over here. So looking at the 4 hour, 4 hours created this resistance up over here. It's trying to create some form of support. Let's look at the 1 hour. So it tried to break above in the Asian session, and then it came back down into this range. It's formed a support. So yeah, it need to break below the support to continue moving down. But I think at this point we can go with that it has a minor resistance. So right now it's just ranging. The 30-minute. Yeah, right now US 30 is just ranging, so we would need to wait. It's got some super clean traffic. GJ's flipping bearish over here, so yeah, it could come down. Yes, GJ rejecting the resistance at 136.220. Yeah, it looks like it's rejecting this area right now. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't think there's enough range to take any trade, like, you know, anywhere like here. But look, if we take a sell like around this area, you know, we have a support, so like 13 pips away. If we take a buy, we have a resistance, it's like 13 pips away. So if I'm gonna take a buy, I want to take a buy down over here, because then I have this whole range, which is 25 pips. And if I take a sell down over here underneath this area, then I have again 25 pips. Also, I want to take a buy above this area, because then again I have 30 pips. So how long you been doing Forex? About 3 years, 3.5 years. What was your biggest win, biggest loss? Well, I mean, it depends what you say is a loss. I mean, in terms of what I've blown, I mean, I've blown a couple of accounts in the past. lost a few £100. Biggest win, I think so far. I mean, obviously, like, I've increased my risk, I've increased my lots, but I'd say with a average size lot, with like a 1 lot, I made 260, which is pretty good. So if that was with my current 2 lot, I would have made like something like £500, something like that. So what is your almighty setup that you would always take? I would always, I don't know, I'd say just waiting for good confirmations of like a support to form. So I'd say like the bread and butter of scalping is to look at a trend, identify a trend. So whether that be an uptrend, whether that would be an uptrend, right, or a downtrend, whether that be one of those. You know, if we as traders, right, when we identify the trend, you either want to, you know, be buying at these dips, these low points, or selling at these high points if we're in a downtrend. So that's always going to be your bread and butter of trading, but how you do that is specific to you. Like me personally, how I would trade this trend is, you know, let's say we're in this bullish, let's just say for example we're in this bullet trend. So right now we have, this is the push up, this is the retracement, again another push up, retracement, and let's say we get that further push up again. When I get that next retracement, that's the point at which I'll be looking for buys. So that's going to be my almighty setup. That's going to be my almighty setup at this area, and then I'm going to fill this range over here. So yeah, I mean, I think we could correct this move. If we correct this move, then this daily candle is going to drop, because now it's created this top wick. I think it's going to come back down to these areas here, so that would be a really nice trade, but hopefully we'll get that by the time the session is done. It's going to be really nice. So if you haven't already, guys, please drop a like on the stream. If you also haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I also want to see the zombie thing come back up today, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That's break in retest. I mean, where? Over here? This is a rejection right now of this resistance. This was the break, and I mean, yeah, you could class this coming back down as the retest, but yeah, so that's what I was looking at. So if it was to form support again here, then clearly there's a much higher chance we're going to come up and retest the high. But again, if it can't sustain that and it's going to start breaking down, I'm going to be looking for that short position. Check out what GCAD. Oh wow, look at that retracement on GCAD.
Yeah, it's rejecting that 4-hour area, innit? Got stopped on the runner.
Yeah, but that's okay, man. Ending the day on Friday in profits is what you want. But yeah.
Exactly that. Done for the day.
Yeah, man, but that was a good trade. That was a good trade. Check out Euro JPY. Oh, Euro JPY is dropping over here. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, so it looks like the 15-minute candle closed below this area here. Then the next 15-minute candle did like a retest. But 15-minute candle is obviously a weak time frame confirmation. So if you missed this sell, now you want to say, okay, where's the next position I can get a sell? And it's going to be below the support to continue moving down. What else? Gold. Oh wow, look at this retracement on gold. Yeah, I wouldn't want to piss about with gold today because it's got core retail sales coming in this afternoon. But man, that would have been a nice gold buy. Man, that was like a 40 pip buy as well. Yeah, 30 pip buy. USD JPY is still at this same support area from yesterday. It's just done nothing. It's just done nothing. So it looks like some more waiting involved here today. Hopefully we can break the record here today. Maybe get some more people coming in. There is news after 3 minutes. Oh, is there news at 10 o'clock? Let's check it out. Oh, for the euro. Okay, CPI. Yeah, it's supposed to be in a yellow folder, but let's see. Yeah, let's watch to see how that plays out. Well, it looks like it's dropping right now, so maybe they're expecting bad numbers. It looks like the same. It looks the same, but yeah, I suppose we're just waiting over here. So yeah, we've got USD retail sales around 130. So yeah, Euro news.
Hey, I just have a question about the Euro JPY. The next level when we would look for sales is below 133.10, something like this.
On what? Euro JPY.
Euro JPY,
You
yes.
mean 123?
123. Sorry,
Yeah.
When we look on the left, there are like some wicks and quite choppy area. My question is, wouldn't that make you concern? This choppy area, even if we break below the support, we would create some kind of resistance and then go down. Wouldn't that make you concern, this choppy area?
So you're talking about these wicks here?
No, more on the left. Yes, here and the
candles on the left. Over here, yeah.
Yes, over here. Yes.
Okay, so
Curiosity.
I mean, I think like in terms of being concerned, like obviously in the back of your mind, like, you know, this is a rejection area, right? So yes, you know, you're looking. Okay, let's look at it like this. Let's look at the information that we have. So this area over here was a previous consolidation range. Okay, so we know that, but this is not really relevant to now. What is relevant to now is as price is looking left, it looks left and it sees, okay, well, we rejected this area on the 2nd of October. Let's go back to more recent now. We rejected this area on the 15th of October. So yes, it would make me wary, but if we look, we could not have a candle that closed below this area, right? If we look left, we stretch this all the way left, we did not have a candle closed below this area since we started rejecting. So if we get a candle closed below this area, that's where you have to decipher whether you want to take the risk for a continuation push, or you want to wait for the, you know, extra confirmation and wait for that resistance to be formed to continue moving down. So I think if you get a resistance, that's going to be much better. I wouldn't be concerned at that point. But once the candle breaks below, yes, it's done something the other candles couldn't do. It's closed in a rejection area, but at that point you want to just really make sure that you don't get caught in some form of fake out, and that you're really expecting price to continue moving down with volume at that point. So when it comes to rejection areas, I always have that in the back of my mind. But that's why, okay, if there's a rejection area, I would want to wait for this support to break, and then I'm going to be a lot more confident, rather than maybe just taking like a sell at support, or like an impulsive sell expecting the break. I'd want to actually see a close below this area. So I think at that point you'll be all right.
Okay, thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. That's what I thought actually. Yeah. Sometimes I overthink it, to be honest, and want to make sure from you.
That's okay. I think like a good example is where can we say? Okay, well let's just take this area here, right? This was like a rejection area, right? But then before that, we didn't have a candle close above this range, right? Because we can see we had some wicks into this area. But then what we had was we had this sudden breakout. So that you missed this drop, you missed the drop, and it's now filled this rejection area, and you're like, okay, I missed that. At that point, you'd want to wait for a pullback and a resistance, which is over here, and then a continuation. So it may be a similar case down at this area, you know, retracement to continue down.
Yep. Okay, clear. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, looks like GJ is just ranging right now. So let's see how the news came out. Anyway, I don't think it did much. Okay, so the trade balance was positive, but everything else stayed the same. Yeah, see, I'm not sure if it really did much, but maybe it's going to continue moving down. So did the 4 hour just close? Okay, so 4 hour closed. So if we look at the 4 hour now, it rejected this resistance. It failed to break above this resistance. So, I mean, you know, there is a chance that we could start to come down now, but we need to break that support on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, we need to break this support down over here for price to continue moving down. Some weird tune. Right, I'm just gonna go make a drink and I'll be back in a minute. I'm also looking at gold and I'm thinking, you know, if gold can form a support on the 15-minute, maybe it's gonna come up and fill that wick over there. Potentially. Looks good to continue moving up gold. GCAD's coming up. Okay, so Euro JPY is doing a retracement. So I think if you're looking for sells on Euro JPY, yeah, maybe obviously a 30-minute candle is going to be better at this area. A resistance on the 30. Yeah, I think you should wait for like a 30-minute candle to form a resistance at this area, because then that would be you know, price respecting this area as the range again, and then I think at that point it should continue moving down.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Yeah, I'm just looking on the 15-minute. You know, I think a 15-minute's gonna be harder, because if we're looking on the 30-minute, yeah, I don't know. Let's wait. Right, let me go make a drink and I'll be back. I'll be back in a sec. going on? What's going on? We are back. Sorry about that. Had to make myself a nice little crumpet with cheese. Okay, so let's check out GJ. GJ's just kind of ranging right now. Yeah, looking on the 15 minutes, kind of ranging. Yeah, not really doing much over here. I think, yeah, let's wait and see. Wait and see. Music is fire. Yeah, music is pretty good. Waiting for candles to close has been the biggest test of discipline. Oh mate, waiting for candles to close is, I know it really does test your patience, but it has to be done. It has to be done. I remember once, right? I think I was waiting for a buy, and this was many months ago. This is before I would class myself as a very disciplined trader, and I just started to get into the habit of like really waiting for candles to close, being extra patient. And one day that I saw, you know, candles was breaking above this area, and I was like, okay, well, if I take a buy now, I'm gonna get a much better entry for the next candle continue up. And the candle had 10 seconds to close. 10 seconds. And I was like, wicked. It's coming to a close. It's got 8 seconds now. I'm going to execute the buy. I'm going to be good, right? Executed the buy. And the candle went within the last 5 seconds and closed back in the range. Even closed so weak. It was an instant drawdown. I was like, oh, man. So that was really important to wait for candles to close 100%. Okay, let's check out Euro JPY. Euro JPY is coming back to this area. That's why I think it is going to be much better to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. I do think now at this point, a 15-minute bearish candle could be good, but if you're going to wait for that better confirmation, it's going to be a 30-minute candle. GCAD still trying to come up. Looks like it's struggling a lot at this area. Gold. Gold looks like it's struggling as well. Yeah. The FTSE. Yeah, see, FTSE did form a support, but it just came straight down over here. Yeah, still got to watch. The Dow's still just ranging. Just range. Man, GJ's not doing a lot over here today. Man, I'm telling you guys, crumpets with cheese, oh, in the morning, it is fantastic. Anyway, massive shout out to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You know, you're gonna get all the notifications of when new videos are posted, recaps, all of that. Plus, when we get to that 1K subs, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. 1K subs, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. Probably maybe like a free magic keys, because I've done 2 giveaways now with free entry to the mentorship. But yeah, maybe we'll switch it up this time and do something a little bit different. I think that's gonna be a good idea. Yeah. Oh, we just had a new subscriber there. Yes, good to see the zombie. Thank you, Heshan. Thank you very much. Appreciate the subscription. Sorry. Yeah, if we get to 1K, I'll do a magic keys giveaway. I'll send it personally to the winner, or I'll just buy it and then send it straight to them. I'll put their details in. Okay, gold is doing like a retracement right now. Maybe it's gonna come back in the range. So let's look at oh, thank you, Diego. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Right, let's check out the retail sales over here. So they are expecting lower percentage than the previous month. That's the core retail sales, but then actual retail sales, they're expecting better. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but pretty much doesn't look like much is gonna change, so but we'll see. Still a big volatile news event. So I think Wilksy had to take off. Just noticed. Thanks for coming on, Wilksy. No, you didn't miss anything, Ash, don't worry. No trades yet. But so far we've called out GCAB buys, which was what Wilksy caught. Gold buys, called that one, but just wasn't good enough for me to take the trade. I was waiting for some form of like retracement candle, and then a bullish candle would have been much better for me. No, don't worry, Ash, you didn't miss nothing, my friend. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds left here for GJ candle to close. It does look like it's coming down. It's doing like a retracement, but we can't take a sell yet because we are at a support. So we'd want to see a break below this support, 135.990, 130 or 136. Yeah, hopefully next week we can get to, you know, way over 100 people coming on to watch the stream. That'd be great. So let's look at the 15 minute. Let's start to read what's going on the 15 minute. So looking on the 15 minute, price created a high. You know, we're rejecting this area multiple times. You know, at the same time, 15 minute candle closed bullish, so it did create a support. But as we were saying, you know, 15 minute is a weaker time frame confirmation when you're just waiting for one candle. When you're waiting for one candle, obviously it's a weaker time frame confirmation. So it looks like it did just come up, kind of push, retest the high, closed bullish. Now the next 15 minute candle, it broke below that support. It closed bearish, closed below this area. Next 15 minute candle came up, closed like a weak bullish. Now the next 15 minute candle coming down. So now we're at this next area over here. So a couple of things that can happen. We can either wait for the 15 minute to start to break below, create some form of resistance to continue moving down. We could wait to see a 30 minute candle close below, maybe get an entry on the retest for price to continue moving down. So there's a couple of things that can happen here. But overall, if we were looking for buys, because, you know, we were looking at the fact that, you know, price created a high, we still don't have a bullish 30 minute close yet. So let's say we do get a support formed at this area. Obviously, I'll be very skeptical because of, you know, this this whole area here is a bit messy. But essentially, I'd want to see something start to break above this minor 15 minute resistance, because then at that point that would tell me that, you know, we're going to maybe start popping further up, and then we have this whole range to fill up over here, which is still going to be enough for us to, you know, look to take a trade to retest the high. So that we do still have that option on the table, but it's still more waiting involved over here, because we still again don't have a 30 minute candle close bullish. And even if this 30 minute just comes up, at that point, you know, we're still just going to wait for a break above 136.250 or a break below 136. But trust me, guys, this is what I mean. You do get paid to wait. So it's like gold is coming down over here. 15 minute. Yeah, I think if gold can create a resistance back below, you know, 1908.360, then, you know, gold could come down and fill this range over here. It's like a 40 pip range. So yeah, we was waiting for some support to form above this area. We didn't get that, so maybe this move is going to be corrected. We need to see GCAD. Oh wow, now GCAD's starting to run over here. Yeah, so I know Kelsey's runner got stopped out, but yeah, look good to continue moving up. GJ's coming up. Euro JPY. Okay, look at Euro JPY. So Euro JPY 30 minute candle closed back in the range. It came up to retest this area and it closed bullish, but it closed below this area. So I do believe that maybe if we can just get one 15 minute candle bearish, that's going to be good for price to come down. But maybe if you're, you know, someone who wants to be a bit more safe, then you're going to want to wait for maybe the 30 minute candle to close bearish, because we could get like a 30 minute candle close bearish respecting this area, and then that's going to be good also. But yeah, let's just assess each candle as it comes. So we'll look at Euro JPY from the 15 minute perspective, and then we'll go from there. So GJ's coming up over here. 30 minutes coming up. Yeah, it stopped him out and it went his way, but he did secure profits, which you know, I'm a big pusher of. Always need to secure profits, and then, you know, if you get stopped out, get stopped out. But at least the analysis was correct. Price is pushing up to his target, so you can't catch all of these moves. But if you're, you know, if you're consistently making profits and then getting stopped out, you're still making profits. And then the 1 or 2 times that it does continue to push and it doesn't stop you out, you know, it's a bonus. It's like getting your Christmas bonus. You know, the market's paying you that little bit more. Okay, but you're not gonna get that every time. Yeah, there's just nothing over here in GJ until it at least breaks above this area. I don't want to touch it right now. How many people we got? We got 75 people in here today. Thank you everyone for coming down. Hope you do enjoy the streams. But I know a lot of people are late comers. I see you late comers. We had 30 people here when the stream started. We got 30 people that were on time. You know, they knew they were going to get here on time, so yeah, that's important. But no, I do appreciate you guys all coming down to watch the stream. And obviously it's here for you guys as well, you know, this is here for you lot to learn. And we're all part of a massive community, which is great in my eyes, to be honest. It's fantastic, you know, that there's a community here where we all help each other, and that's really important. That is really, really important. Trust me, man, there's people in this world that are selfish. They don't want to help no one. But we got a community here of people that want to help, and it's fantastic. Happened to me yesterday. Yeah, Raw, it does happen, man. I've had that. It happens to me all the time. All the time do I have my runners get stopped out. You know, there's even times where I'm into profits and then it comes right back to my stop loss and stops me out when I go break even, and I didn't even maybe get to secure. So it does happen, man. GDP broke 136. I think you're talking about yesterday because it hasn't broken right now. Oh yeah, true. Different time zones. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Respect that. No, of course. But I mean, at the same time, you know, if you're trading the London session, you know, you need to know what time volume starts to come into the market. So you do need to be aware of, you know, the times that you should be trading. But yeah, no, I hear that one. Went down 8 pips, pulled back, stopped me out, then dropped 40 pips. So yeah, 20. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. All the time that happens to me. But there's nothing you can do about it. You know, market's gonna do what the market's gonna do. But you gotta think about it, right? You didn't take a loss. That's the most important thing. You know, because you could have, let's say you have 8 trades in a week, and let's say you only had 2 winning trades, right? But if all your other trades were, you know, break even, you're still going to be positive for the week. So having break even trades, in my eyes, is still a win because you didn't take a loss. You know, if you just constantly trade, right, let me put it this way. If you focus on not losing, and obviously I know you can't like eliminate losses because losses are part of the game, right? You can't eliminate all losses, but what you can do is you can reduce losses. You can also avoid losses. You can, because you know, there's times where I've taken trades, I've taken a loss, and I'm like, oh, well, I've just waited for that one more thing, or if I did this, I wouldn't have taken that loss. So if you just focus on the losses, the wins are going to come naturally. You're going to have bigger wins, you know. If you just focus on making sure, okay, once price is starting to push in my direction, why would I want to take a loss just to be right? You know what I mean? Why would I want to take a loss to maybe see if price still goes in my direction, because you know, market is unpredictable, right? No one can tell you if the next candle is going to go up or down for sure. There's never that 100% guarantee, okay? Obviously we have highly probable outcomes, and that's just like anything, you know. No one can tell you what's going to happen the next day. No one can tell you what's going to happen in a minute, but we can all have a good idea what might happen, and that's what we trade based off. We trade based off probabilities. But you know what we can do is we can reduce our losses. We can focus on the losses. And when I started focusing on losses, everything changed for me, because I was too focused on the wins. I was too focused on, okay, well, I know I'm in a drawdown right now, but I'm still expecting price to go my way. Yeah, I'm still, you know, price is about to hit my stop loss. Nah, it will be okay. I'm gonna leave it to run. I'm expecting price to go in my direction. Whereas if I would do what I am now, I'd be like, I'm in a drawdown. Why am I sitting in drawdown? Let's reduce the risk. Let's take some risk off the plate, right? Because I don't want to take a full loss. And with that mentality, that's really gonna help you. It's like, I suppose it's a little bit like boxing, right? You can have the hardest punch, you can be the best puncher, but if you can't slip a punch, if you're no good at your defense, then you're gonna get hit as many times as you can hit. So if you look at the best boxers around the world, their defense is immaculate. And it's kind of like trading, right? You know, the best traders all focus on their losses. They focus on reducing their losses. You know, the best boxers focus on, you know, hitting more than they get hit, right? That's how you win a boxing match, right? Either you knock the guy out or you hit someone more than you get hit. So to do that, you know, hitting someone's necessarily easier than missing getting hit, right? Same thing with losses, you know. Reducing losses is more difficult, so you want to focus on that. So right now, focusing on GJ candles coming up, trying to close bullish, but I mean, I just don't trust it yet. I want to see this candle close. Yeah. Italian soccer team used to have that strategy: don't get goals. Do you mean don't concede? Well, yeah, I suppose if you're a football team, right, if you focus on your defense and really not conceding goals and things like that, then you know you only got to do is put it in the net once and you can win the game, right? But yeah, obviously all these things in life have their right way, but trading, look, we can't, it's just a known fact. I know Raja says it a lot, and it's true. Like, we can't control the outcome, but we can control the risk. And it's so true. You know, when he says that, it just, you know, it resonates with me, because I'm like, that's exactly my way of thinking. You know I can't control where the next candle is going to go, but I can control and make sure that I don't take this full loss over here. So with that mentality, you're gonna go a long way. Yeah, exactly, Ash. Managing trades has been my step up in trading, you know, because before I became profitable, I had bumps, and the bumps in my trading was I just wasn't focusing on the losses. I was too concentrated on my wins and always wanted to be right. And sometimes you just have to understand you can't get it right every time. But what I could have done in those situations was reduced the loss. And once I realized that, when I really truly realized that, did things change. Can you check my study? Yeah, if you want to send a chart, we can check that out. Change the tuners. And after about 6 months, I'm going to know all these tunes on this pretzel. I'm going to know all of them. I'm going to know exactly which ones are good and not good. Okay, let's check out this chart over here. Okay, so GJ 30-minute time frame, resistance, support. Okay, buy if the candle broke the high, impulsive move. Okay, so you're looking for an impulsive trade once the candle breaks the high of the previous bearish candle. Okay, I would just say personally, look, you know, you have a resistance here, so that is technically buying at the resistance, and I would say that's not a good idea personally. I would say that, you know, right now, if you look at the candles trending, they're trending bearish. But yeah, I suppose if it does break the high, I think there's a chance it can come and tap into this area, right? I think it can come up into this area. But wouldn't you rather wait for the confirmation on a Friday, right? Remember, it's a Friday. For price to come up, close above this area, and then you can have a much better, more confident trade that price is going to continue pushing up with volume, because we have this clean traffic to the left-hand side, right? Whereas if you're trying to play this range, you've really wasted your one trade on a Friday, and then if you're, you know, say not had a good week, or you maybe have had a good week, you don't want to end the week on a bad note. That's the one thing I would say. You don't want to end the week on a bad note, and you also don't want to be over trading on a Friday if you start the day off with a loss. That's really, really important. You definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. I just think, in my advice, I would just wait for something, you know, stronger confirmation. Plus, you know, you're taking an impulsive trade within a range right now, whereas if I was going to take an impulsive trade, my impulsive trade would be maybe, okay, let's say then this candle comes up, closes above this area, and then we get like a, you know, a weak bearish candle right above this area, and then we get another bullish candle. That would be a good idea for an impulsive trade, right, as it breaks the high over here, because then we have a range. We have a range to fill. Whereas taking an impulsive trade within the range is going to be very, very risky, in my opinion. But yeah, I see what you're trying to do, but ultimately it's up to you. If the 15-minute candle breaks the low of the previous candle, I think it will give good opportunity to short. I mean, again, that's up to you. Like, right now, just the way I see it is, you know, look at this range, right? Okay. I mean, if you were to take an impulsive sell down over here, you have a support literally here. You have another minor support here. So, I mean, it's a Friday. I get you guys want to take good trades, and, you know, the impulsive trades can work. And I truly... Oh, sorry, I had the hiccup there. I truly understand that, but remember guys, it is a Friday. Like if this is a Monday, sorry, not Monday, if it's like a Tuesday or Wednesday, I might be like, okay, so you could give it a go. But on a Friday, do you really want to end the week on a bad trade if it doesn't play out? So my way of thought is it's a Friday. Wait for a good confirmation, and then you're gonna have a much better end to the week, knowing that you stay disciplined on the last day of the week, rather than having a disciplined week and on the last day you drop your guard and then that's it. You know, you take a loss, and it's gonna really affect your psychology, man. I can't tell you enough. You know, putting in that hard work, and then on the last day of the week, making one bad trade, one mistake, and you cost yourself either your hard work or your psychological gains from the confidence that you've built. Trust me, man, it's just not worth it, you know. So like, you know, these ideas are up to you, but my idea is a break above this area, wait for this candle to close, because then I'm going to see maybe if we are creating that support to then continue up, or a break below this area here, right? That's it. I'm not really looking for an impulsive trade while we're in this range right now, and that's kind of it. Impulsive trades with these wicks at resistance is a bad idea, very risky, stop loss will be big. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea, but I mean, it could work. Like, you know, these things can happen. Like, we have seen candles just come up, break out, because I'm still looking for the breakout, so that would make sense, you know. But it's just, wouldn't you rather wait on a Friday? Like, I would say if this was during a week, yeah, it could work. Like, you know, that's up to you. That could be a good idea. It may not be a good idea, but it's a Friday. Even if I was to look for the same idea, and even if, you know, it's something that I would take, I'm still going to wait for that just extra confirmation, because it's going to be so much more better to take that higher confirmation trade to end the week, you know, rather than on a Friday starting off the day with a loss. And then you don't want to be chasing that loss on a Friday, man, because that is going to really end bad for you. It's no criticism to, you know, either of the guys that sent in the charts or explain their trade ideas. You know, you guys do what you want to do, because if you take that trade and it was a bad trade, okay, at least you're gonna learn from it. Well, I hope you learn from it. So, you know, I never see losses as a true loss. It's always a lesson, and it's always something to be learned. But when you make those same mistakes, that's where you need to take a look within. HFX, sorry late to the party. Wouldn't you take those red wicks as a rejection wicks to push downwards if it breaks 136? Yeah, I would agree with that. I would just say right now we're rejecting this area. So, and if we look at the overall trend, market structure is bearish. So exactly that. If we can break below 136, then this high was the rejection, and then the push below 136 is the correction of the move up. Okay, so yeah, I would agree with that, but it needs to break 136 for sure. Anything above that is not a sell, but it's okay being late. Don't worry, mate, we're not at school. We're not at school anymore. You're not gonna get a lunchtime detention, but yeah, no, I appreciate that. Let's check out gold. Gold's still trying to come back in the range. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so 15-minute closed a weak bearish candle, so I wouldn't say it's coming back in the range yet. I think you need this 30-minute candle to close back in the range, and then maybe the next one's going to start to drive further down. But we'll see about that one. GCAD, oh wow, literally came right up to this area, now it's rejecting. So we'll see. US 30 still ranging, FTSE still ranging. Okay, nice. So Euro JPY is creating that resistance. You know, at 123 to 30. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, so 15 minutes trying to create that resistance. If we look at the 30-minute, that will be the 30-minute candle closing bearish. So, I mean, it could be a good idea for a continuation down at that point. But I think wait for this 30-minute candle to close, and then we'll see. Hi mate, new to the stream. Thoughts on my CHF JPY potential short? Okay, Haydos, if you want to send a chart, we can definitely check that out. But thanks for coming on the stream. Appreciate that. Is GJ safe to trade for a beginner, or is it difficult? I mean, okay, here's the thing. Like with GJ, I would say that it's a more difficult pair than, let's say, you know, USD JPY or Euro JPY, because these pairs, they move a lot slower. You can take the trade, you can set your stop loss, you don't have to worry too much about, you know, crazy spikes, you know, so there is that. But I mean, I think no matter what pair you look at, you just want to try and stick to that one pair, and then it just takes time to really, you know, get to grips with how that pair moves. But I'd say, you know, with GJ, it's very volatile. You know, we've seen that this week. You know, we see some big candles, and although that looks attractive, I know people look at, you know, big moves on pairs like GJ, and they think, oh, I want some of that. I want some of that big move. But in reality, you know, it's not just always about these big moves. They're hard to catch. You know, it's a little bit about how you can analyze a pair and if it makes sense to you. So, I mean, if you're trading GJ now, I think just stick to it and just focus on GJ. You know, if you're a beginner and you're trying to learn like 3 or 4 pairs, then, you know, it's just, yeah, just stick to one. I posted it just below, sorry. Yeah, it's not come up on the chat there, Haydos. I think what you have to do is you have to send me this little code when you so you go to here, copy URL, and what you want to do is you want to copy the last bit on the right hand side, which is the is this bit here where it says /x/ and then the rest of that you want to just copy that over, send that in the chat, and then yeah, we can check out your chart. So I think Euro JPY, guys, we need this 30-minute candle to close bearish. No, that's okay. But the pip value is more on UJ and some of the slower pairs. I mean, yeah, but the difference is with UJ, right? If you're talking about, you know, pip values, I think focusing more on, okay, what's the average candle? Look, this candle here looks pretty big, right? Okay, let's look at this, right? Look at this candle here on UJ. It looks pretty big. Or in fact, let's look at this candle. This bullish candle here looks massive, right? So this candle on UJ is only 10 pips. That's a 10 pip candle. So what that means really is, let's say you took your buy down over here. Your stop loss was 3 pips. So if you're a new trader, you're only losing 3 pips if you took a buy over here, right? So yeah, it's a smaller pip value, but if you look at it in terms of that, in terms of your risk, losing 3 pips in one trade, that's good, you know. So you have that aspect. Now if we go to the same sort of size candle on GJ, let's say this bullish candle, this is a 35 pip candle, right? And that other candle was only 10 pips, so it's almost 3 times the size in pip value compared to, you know, to UJ. But that can be better for a new trader, right? That can be better because then they don't have that stress that they got to have bigger stop losses, you know. And then when they gain experience, then they can start to maybe move on to faster moving pairs, higher, you know, bigger pairs like GJ, etc. Sorry to ask you, but can I ask what was your biggest loss in a day or week? I'm having a lot of loss, but I'm trying to learn with it. I don't even have a comparison with a lot of people. Biggest loss in a day. Well, before I really knew how to manage losses, I would say I've taken, I can't really give you like a figure amount off the top of my head, but I can give you like a stop loss. So, you know, like, I don't know, 20 pips. I've taken 20 pip losses where I've just had the stop loss bigger for stupid reasons, but this is all in the past now. And now what I focus on is you know, really trying to reduce the loss, keep stop losses small, you know, things like that. But as we can see here, the 30-minute candle closed bullish on GJ. It did come up and break that high, so I don't know if he got in that impulsive buy, but I mean, this next candle may come down, do like a retracement, but I definitely don't think there's any buys right now, because, you know, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a break above this area. We may not get it here today on the stream, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Hados, I don't think it's come through yet, my friend, so I don't know if you wanna yeah, try and send that over, and we can take a look. Mr. Pip, are you a student of Wick Don't Lie or something? Yeah, I've learned some things off of Raja. He's a good friend of mine. You know, I've gone to him for some advice on things as I was growing as a trader. You know, we always want to look at people who's doing good and not so much see what they're doing, but I looked at what I was doing. I was like, okay, well, you know, this is what I was doing, and he took a look at a couple of trades and things of that on mine. He did help me out. Paul helped me with some things, and it was just a little bit of tweaking, really, because before I came to both of them, I was profitable, but it was really small gains. It was really small gains, and I said to him, you know, what am I doing wrong? And he said to me, you know, you got to look at your losses. You know, you've got to look at your losses, and you know, you really want to look at how you can reduce the loss. And I went back and I looked at that and I said, okay, well, how could I have reduced that loss? And he didn't tell me how to reduce the loss. I didn't just hear him say, oh, this is how I reduce the loss, this is how you should reduce the loss. I looked at my own work and I saw, oh, well, once the candle closed against me, or once that candle broke the low of the previous candle, price started to continue down, or started to continue up against me, right? So that was the point I started to realize where my losses could have been reduced, and it was just little clues like that really helped me. So big shout out to Wicks Don't Lie. I have to put him up there. He's a great trader. I think he's on next. If you guys are gonna go watch that stream, but yeah, he's a good friend. Hear you, mate. Thanks. Makes sense. Maybe I should try some UJ new. Yeah, no, UJ I've been looking at for like 2 years now. You know, you can catch some good moves on UJ, but for the most part, you know, ranges are pretty small, so I tend to stay clear. But when it trends, it can trend really well, like, as you can see, you know. So yeah, so right now I think GJ is just ranging. So I'm just waiting over here. We couldn't take a buy because, you know, candle's too close to resistance. So let's look at gold actually. Okay, so gold 30-minute closed back in the range. So yeah, I do think there's a good chance it can continue moving bearish over here. It's too busy squabbling on and checking gold. Yeah, I think it's going to correct this move. GCAD. Oh, yes. So GCAD came right up to our target over here. And it looks like it's starting to reject now. So, yeah, that was a good call. Check out Euro JPY. Okay, so Euro JPY candle did not close bearish. So I don't think there's any sells yet. Look at the 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute candle closed bearish, but you know the current one's already come up, broken the high. So I think a better idea is to maybe wait for a 30-minute candle to close bearish, or if you, yeah, I don't want to encourage impulse entries. Plus the range is a little bit too small over here anyway, because you'd want your sell to be right up over here for it to be better. We'll wait on Euro JPY, and then we will yeah, we'll assess that. Okay, we've got this chart over here. Let's check that out. Hados. Let's check out your chart. Okay, so CHF JPY 30-minute. So this is a no trade zone. Okay, clean traffic. Yep. Wait for resistance to form on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that idea. So price has already come down. It's broken below this area. You know, it's trying to create some support. So again, yeah, I think you need to wait for resistance to form at this area. And then, you know, as price is coming down, maybe secure some profits at the low that was created. And also what you want to do is you want to look left. And you can see on the left-hand side here that there is some area of issue. You do have a support. And when we stretch this left, you can see this is an area where price may, you know, reject from. So I think you're going to want to secure some more positions down over here. But yeah, I like it. It looks good. So yeah, it looks good. Nothing to criticize there. Got the right idea. Yeah, no buys, no sells right now. Yeah, no buys, no sells. It would be nice and helpful if you showed us some UJ live actions, maybe helpful for new traders. Yeah, I've just recently been staying clear of it just because like analysis has been pretty difficult on UJ recently. Like it's been doing a lot of like, you know, you can see like fake outs and then fake out, so it's been pretty difficult. But yeah, we can definitely check it out. But like right now, USD JPY is just ranging. It's been bouncing off the support for a couple of days now. This level here. So, and once this support breaks, we could see quite a big drop because this, you know, this is a strong support, multiple rejections. And yeah, I think it's going to be good to continue down to this area here. So if we measure the range here on UJ, we can see that, you know, the range is going to be a lot smaller, right? This is like a 7 pip range. That's a tiny range. And then if we go to a range on GJ, like even just this range here is 30 pips. So you can start to see the difference. I want to get long in on GJ. Okay, I think you're going to be better to wait above this area, but again, I'm not going to tell people what to do. What's going on, Henry? Nice to have you on the stream. Hados, thank you. Missed that area. 30-minute continuation. File. Yep. That's all right, my friend. You always want to be looking left. And you want to be seeing, you know, where's some area of issue. So like here on GJ right now, as I'm looking left, I see this could be our area where we could have some issue for price to continue moving up. If someone wanted to practice about your trade taken before, do you have a journal we can see? So I used to use Trello. Stop using Trello now. I just post analysis of the trade in the Discord chat. Sorry. With the private group, so that is kind of for them because they get to see, you know, exactly how the trade was taken, the whole breakdown from the intraday. But I can certainly show you an example. I'll just bring I'll bring a chart up. Okay, so if we bring this over. Just on a quick one. So let's just go here. So this is a chart that I sent to the group. I think this was last week. So this is the 28th. Oh, this is September. So yeah, so this is kind of like how I do it. So I just label everything that happened in order. I look at the key levels, how we could have caught the trade. So as here we said here, buys were executed once price broke the high of the previous bearish candle. So I think this is a really good example of an impulsive trade, right? Because we're in strong bullish uptrend. We had a weak retracement candle and we're expecting price to continue moving up to our target. So the buys were executed over here, keeping the stop loss below this candle. And then as it came up, started pushing into profits, bringing the stop loss below the current candle. So yeah, I think that's a really good example of an impulsive trade, but this is an example of what's sent out to the group. So you have detailed analysis, targets provided, all the relevant information that happened all throughout the day. So this is the level of detail I always say to people. This is the level of detail you want to really be putting into to be truly understanding the why things happen. Okay, so I mean, if you guys want to, I don't know, take a photo, a screenshot, you can have an idea of, you know, how you really want to be labeling your charts and putting in that time. Okay, welcome back, Greg.
Hello.
Oh shit, I just accidentally closed off the Zoom. Oh, that was not a good idea. Let's do that again. I did not mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Do you send charts before the moves happens, or only after to explain what has happened? So yeah, kind of the charts are once the trade's taken, you know, that type of thing, or if there's no trade, why there's no trade, how we could have broken that down, things like that. But you know, what I do is I send out like a pre-analysis and things of that nature, so there is the opportunity to see what I'm looking for beforehand. And obviously, if you're in the private group, you know, when you come on the live stream, you know, you're gonna know pretty much from the get-go exactly what I'm looking for, and you get to see me obviously execute on that live. And then even if you don't trade the same session as me, so let's say you trade the Asian session, I send out pre-Asian session analysis every day, and things like that. So there's plenty of pre-session stuff. Can you send the link in the chat? My screen have low quality. A link to what? The Discord is a private group. It's the mentorship group, so you have to pay to get access to that. But I mean, if you go on YouTube, you'll see there might be like a setting to increase your resolution, so maybe try that. Okay, so gold's coming back above the range right now, but I mean, I think at this point, like a bearish 15-minute candle back below this area is going to be good. Wait for this candle to close, and then we will see. So GCAD did a massive retracement. UJ still just bouncing off support. Euro JPY. Oh wow, look at Euro JPY, man. Yeah, that's why it's really important to wait for candles to close. 30-minute candle didn't close bullish, and now the current 30-minute candle is coming back up above the range. One-time payment, right? Yeah, there's the option to do a one-time payment, or now there's the option to do installment options for 6 months, so you pay monthly for 6 months. But all that information is on the website. Website is on the live stream, so yeah. I don't want to use this time to like promote myself or anything. You know, if people want that extra help, then it's there. But right now I'm here to help for free. Yeah, man, GJ's just doing nothing over here right now. Just doing absolutely nothing. It looks like it's probably going to be a no trading session here today. US 30 still ranging. FTSE is it's come back in this range, so it probably wants to make like a minor resistance at this level to continue moving down. So we'll see about that one. So we called out GCAD buys today, gold buys today. So it was a good day over here. We nearly got Euro JPY sells, but I mean, looks like the sells just weren't meant to be. It's coming back above the range now. But yeah, GJ just not. GJ just, yeah, it's gone flat. It's like a Coke that's you've left the bottle opened and all the fizz is gone. It's just gone flat. Yeah, Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. But I think after the stream, I'll still maybe wait another hour or something like that. And then we'll see if we can get this break above. But if not, then yeah, I'm gonna call it a week, and yeah. Okay, Hados, thanks for coming. We'll see you either Sunday market open or Monday. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Are you off, Greg?
Yeah, I'm heading out.
All right, mate. All right. Have a good day. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Yep. You too. I'll see you Monday.
Ciao.
See you later. Do you think gold is retesting the resistance to continue down? Possibly. I'd say, you know, like, because gold can be very like wicky and you know, liquidity can be generated. So I think right now it seems like, yeah, I think it's kind of retesting this area. I agree. But for that to work, I would say the candle, this candle needs to close below this area. It needs to close below, otherwise maybe, you know, it's just doing some crazy stuff, you know. It's gold, you know, so yeah, I think it needs to close below this area, and then if we can get like a resistance formed, I think that's the point at which it will continue down. But if this candle closes back above this area, then maybe it's going to continue moving up, so we'll see. I think GJ is just ranging right now. Yeah, looks like no trading session here today, guys. Yeah, I think we'll give it a few more minutes and then call it a day. Yeah. So it looks like it's been a good week over here today. Hope everyone's had a profitable week. Also, hope everyone's enjoyed the live stream. So if you have enjoyed the live stream, if you want to continue to watch, please drop a like. That would be much appreciated. Do you think Friday is not a good day to trade? Well, Fridays isn't a day to try and make back losses. Friday also isn't a day to over risk, over leverage. Friday should be a day that the week is coming to a close and that maybe you're willing to give one trade an idea, and if it doesn't play out, you're just going to call it a week, and that's it, right? That's your Friday. Friday should be nice, relaxed, like it has been for us today. No rush to take a trade. We can see here GJ has done nothing, so there was no reason to get ourselves into any unnecessary drawdowns and things of that nature. So Friday is just a nice, relaxed day where we wait for nice, strong confirmations. If you don't get them, then you just call it a week and you come back the next week and you do the same thing. Yep, see you, roll. We'll see you next week. We'll see you on Monday or Sunday. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. But yeah, Friday should just be a nice, chilled, relaxed day. No stress, no rush. If you've already got a mentality that you're coming into Friday looking to make back your losses, it's not gonna end well. See, like yesterday I made back my loss, so yesterday's okay because yesterday was a Thursday. It's still a day of volume and things of that nature. That's the other thing as well. Typically Fridays is less volume because it's the end of the weekly candle. But at the same time, there is that odd Friday that you can really see a long stretch of volume. So if we look at the weekly time frame now, the weekly has created a resistance, right? So, there could be a chance that the next weekly candle is going to start pushing down as well. Yep, no problem. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we're gonna call it a stream here in 1 or 2 more minutes. see what the 15 minutes doing. What is the name of this music? It's just from a website called Pretzel. It's like a stream music player. So yeah, it's not my own playlist. Yeah, look at this candle here in GJ. It's literally like a nothing candle right now. Yeah, see, I think at this point there's no gold sells. If this 30-minute candle closes back above this area, then this was obviously just creating some form of support to continue moving up. But yeah, 60 hourly. Yeah, it looks like it can continue moving up. GJ pushing. Let's check it out. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think this candle needs to close above this area here for me to look for buys. But I mean, if it does and I take buys, obviously you guys can check me out on the Instagram. You see how the trade went. But yeah, I'll probably give it another half. Well, the stream's about to end in a minute. But after the stream, I'll probably stay on the charts for maybe another half an hour to an hour, and then call it a session right there. So yeah, I think it's good at this point to call it a day. So I just want to say a big thanks to everyone who showed up to the session again today. We'll be back again next week. So hopefully we'll see everyone either Sunday for the market open, or if you don't trade that, then hopefully we'll see you on Monday. We'll see you Monday. But it does look like this 30-minute candle wants to close above this area. So yeah, it's a shame that this happened so late in the stream, but I think if that candle does close above, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good for buys. Stop's going to be a little bit too big though. Yeah, we'll see. It may not close above, so we will see. But it is breaking above this minor resistance. But yeah, I want to close above this area. I think what's gonna maybe be better, just to quickly end the stream here, is, you know, because stop loss is gonna be slightly bigger. Okay, candle closed bullish. It closed below this area, so yeah, there's no buys right now for me. So I'm gonna wait for some form of support above this area to continue moving up. So yeah, thanks everyone. And we'll see you Monday, 9 o'clock GMT. Drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed that today, guys. But I appreciate everyone coming down. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you all on Monday. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, on the Zoom call. See you Monday. Thank you, YouTube. See you Monday.